Hello friends, this video on electricity part 8 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. Please make sure that you have watched all the videos till part 7 before going ahead with part 8. So now it is time to talk about resistors. So see, since you are studying electricity for the first time, so I am just giving you an overview of the concepts related to electric current. I am not going into depth. You will study about the same topic on electricity in your class 12th as well, wherein we will study about each of these topics in full depth. So that time you will understand things even better than this. But since this is the first time you are studying this lesson, so we will just try to get an overview, or we will just try to get an idea about what is electric current, why electric current arises, what is an electric circuit, and here we will talk only about resistors in this lesson. So in order to study about the combination of resistors, first we should know what are resistors. So we talked about resistance in the last few slides, right? So resistance was the property of any object to resist or to oppose the flow of current. So resistors are those objects. Resistors are the materials which resist the flow of current. So resistance is the property and resistors are the objects. So there are different types of resistors available. One is known as wire bound resistors, and there is another resistors called carbon resistors. If you go to your science lab, you would be able to see these kind of resistors available there. They are very small bits of resistors, but when you put them in circuit, they try to resist the flow of current. Now, what is the magnitude of the resistance? I mean, how much is the resistance of these resistors? That also we can calculate by looking at the colors present on this resistors. But I mean, how do we calculate that? All those things are not needed for you at this level. You will study all those things in class 12. What is wire bound resistors? Wire bound resistors look somewhat like this. It is like some metal over which the number of turns of a wire is present. So that entire thing also acts as resistor. So these are broadly the two classification of resistors. Now when we make electric circuits, when we design electric circuits, we often use resistors. So why do we use resistors in electric circuits? In order to prevent huge amount of current flow through the circuit, because it might happen then that when extremely high amount of current flows through a circuit, it might spoil the electrical elements present in that circuit. For example, let us suppose you think of your refrigerator, or you think of any electrical appliance at your home. If a very huge amount of current passes through that circuit, many of the components get damaged. So to prevent that huge amount of current flow through any circuit, we use resistors. Now there are different ways in which resistors are arranged in a circuit. In fact, there are two ways in which resistors are combined with each other. Now why are resistors combined? Let us suppose in order to design a circuit, you have a specific requirement. Suppose you are designing a circuit and you want that only this much amount of current should flow through the circuit. Say your requirement is only 5 amperes of current should flow through the circuit. Maybe you are designing something. You want 5 amperes of current. For that, maybe you want a specific value of resistance to be present in the circuit. So how do you get that specific value of resistance? Because in the previous slide I showed you these resistances, right? These resistances are available in the market, but all possible values of resistors are not available. For example, maybe suppose the value of this resistance is 100 ohms. Again, you have a resistance of 105 ohms available in the market. You have another resistor of 200 ohms available in the market. But let us suppose that in the circuit you want a resistor of 99 ohms and there is no resistor with resistance 99 ohms available in the market. So what will you do? In such cases, what do? We combine the resistors which are available to get that desired value of resistance. Getting my point? So in order to make our desirable circuits, when we want some specific value of resistance, sometimes we combine resistors to get that particular value of resistance. So there are two ways in which resistors can be combined. First is resistors combined in series. The second one is in parallel. So one is a series combination and the other one is a parallel combination. So in this lesson, we will see how resistors are connected in series and what happens when the resistors are connected in series. Similarly, we will also talk about the parallel combination of resistors. So what do I mean when I say that the resistors are connected in series in a circuit? It means that all the resistors are connected one after the other in this way in a circuit. Or you can represent it in a circuit diagram, you can represent it like this. So what happens in this kind of a combination? Let us suppose this is how the resistors are connected. Let us take this example. Let us assume that there are three resistors R1, R2 and R3 which are connected in a circuit, right? And let us say some amount of current I flow through this circuit. So if I flows through resistor R1, that means the same amount of current will flow through R2 and R3 as well. So through each of them, the same amount of current is flowing. So when resistors are connected in series, current flowing through each of them is the same. However, the potential difference across each resistor is different. If the potential difference across R1 is V1, potential difference across R2 is V2, potential difference across R3 is V3. So in a series combination, one point to remember is that current through each resistor is same. That is one thing to be noted. And the second thing is potential difference across each resistor is different, right? So now what would be the potential difference across R1? V1 will be equal to IR1, that is according to Ohm's law. So the resistance is R1 and the current flowing through this R1 is I. So this V1 will be equal to IR1. Similarly, V2 will be equal to IR2 and V3 will be equal to IR3. So what would be the total potential difference between these 2 points? The total potential difference between these 2 points, V, will be equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3. Now, the total potential difference in this circuit can be written as I into R equivalent, where R equivalent is the equivalent resistance of this circuit. That is the net resistance of this circuit. That is also in accordance with Ohm's law. That is, if V is the total potential difference between these 2 points and I is the total current flowing through this circuit and R equivalent is the equivalent resistance of this circuit, we can say V is equal to I into R eq. So this will be equal to IR1 plus IR2 plus IR3. So from this we can say IR equivalent is equal to I into R1 plus R2 plus R3. So this I and I will get cancelled. So we can say equivalent resistance of a circuit in which the resistances are connected in series is equal to the sum of the resistances. So this is the equivalent resistance of a circuit in which the resistors are connected in series. Now let us talk about the parallel combination of resistances. When we talk of parallel combination, we mean the resistors are connected in this way. I mean the resistors are not connected one after another. Instead, both the ends of the resistors are connected to each other. That means if you see this end of all the resistors are connected together, again the other end of all the resistors are connected together. So in terms of circuit diagram, you can represent it like this. So let us take this example. Let us suppose we have 3 resistors R1, R2 and R3 which are connected in parallel. That is, one end of all of them is connected together, again the other end is connected together. Let us suppose this is R1, this is R2 and this is R3. So if current I flows in the circuit and it enters here, so what would be the current flowing through each of them? Current flowing through each of them will be different because this current I will come here and it will get divided into 3 parts, I1, I2 and I3. right? So I1 will flow through R1, I2 will flow through R2, and I3 will flow through R3. However, the potential difference between these 2 points is the same. Therefore, the potential difference across R1 is R2 and R3 are same. So in case of parallel combination, what happens? Current through each resistor is different. However, the potential difference across each resistor is same. That means in parallel combination, the potential difference across each resistor will be the same. So in this case, we can say that the total current flowing through the circuit is equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3, because this current gets divided into 3 parts. Now from Ohm's law, we can say that V, that is the potential difference across these 2 points, will be equal to I into R equivalent of the circuit. So this can be written as V divided by R equivalent. I1 can be written as V by R1, I2 can be written as V by R2, and R3 can be written as V by R3. So from this we can write 1 by R equivalent is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. So this equation represents the equivalent resistance of a parallel combination of resistances. So this is how we calculate equivalent resistance in a circuit where the resistors are connected in parallel. So these are the 2 types of combination of resistors which are possible. So depending upon our requirements, we arrange resistors in a circuit.
Thank you. Please visit examfear.com to watch free educational videos, try free online tests, get the best quality study materials, study from the best tutors and mentors, and much more. Thank you once again.